The country has finally learned, after 40 to 50 years, to distinguish the war from the warrior. It's about damn time. Soldiers don't pick the time and the venue of the war. They just go where their commander-in-chief sends them. Although at the time it seemed very unlikely that somebody that spoke a little bit of German and had 1 year law school would end up being an infantry staff sergeant in Vietnam, but that's how things worked out. I mean, even at that time I was disturbed because I didn't think the draft was fairly administered. The country's at war, and there's only one college graduate and a group of 160 men, at least initially, as a college graduate. Now, there's something wrong with that system.
Do you recall the first time you were shot at?
Yeah.
Let's hear that story.
Oh, I mean, it's tough to explain it this way, but I could close my eyes and see it. I'm out, before I go to Da Nang, we're out with the infantry unit. The company's moving out. We're on patrol. We took sniper fire from a couple of different directions. So we're in the rice paddies, you don't worry about getting wet, and there's all kinds of other stuff in the rice paddies. So you just dive and you take for cover. And I'm roaming with that company sergeant who's next to me. I'm learning the ropes. And he said to me, well, you know, you just won your first medal. He said, you now can wear the combat infantry badge. I mean, he's telling me we're laying down there. He said, nice going, you just got your first award. I said, you can explain it to me later. I said, that took no talent. By the way, I don't think we were smiling at the time. Everyone looked back, but you can think about it, and I wear it proudly. During my life, the opportunity to serve my community, this Commonwealth, and our country has come to me in many, many different forms. None of the responsibilities or titles that I've ever enjoyed or have been privileged to be afforded are as great a source of personal satisfaction than infantry staff sergeant, Vietnam vet. The area that I worked was from the South China Sea west, so mostly we just stomped around in rice paddies. Got wet. I was there a little less than 8 months. My appendix ruptured.
You were awarded a Bronze Star for Valor. I was just wondering if you could tell me, you know, kind of what led to that.
I'm not sure. You know, there were a couple incidences. I mean, I could tell you, I saw the citation somewhere. I don't even have it. We ran into some people. We did that once or twice, and fortunately on those occasions we prevailed, and somebody put me in for a Bronze Star. I don't know whom. Nothing particularly heroic. I bet you there are literally thousands of soldiers who ran into the same thing that nobody bothered putting them in for a Bronze Star. Over 60% of those who perished never celebrated a 22nd birthday. Over 3,200 Pennsylvanians hold a place of honor on this memorial. Their service and sacrifice and that of their comrades is forever memorialized on that wall in our nation's capital.
So some of the names that are on the wall, you know them?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Anybody that served in country would tell you, there but for the grace of God go I, period. I have to tell you one final story, okay? And this has to do with a trip I didn't make to Vietnam, but I made to a Vietnamese refugee camp outside of Hong Kong. And there was a Vietnamese fisherman, there was an interpreter who had just brought in this rickety old boat that we might not take across the Susquehanna, but he managed to get through the South China Sea all the way to the refugee camp. I asked the interpreter why he risked everything he had. I mean, they're pirates, treacherous weather. There's nothing in that boat. He's going by the stars. why he risked it all to get here. The interpreter told me, reached into his pocket, he took out a piece of yellowed plastic. That was a letter from his son, who had made it to the United States. And the letter from the son to the father said, if you ever get a chance to leave the country, regardless of the risks, you need to come to America because it has. There are liberties and freedoms here that you'll never understand and you'll never appreciate until you get here.